The term hacking is usually associated with computers and the digital space. But did you know that there is such a thing as biohacking? There are steps one makes to improve one's body, not just physically, but also mentally and socially. Today, we'll talk to someone who is helping people live better through biohacking. Let's welcome to the program David Jacob. He is the founder of Longevity Labs and Thermal Life. He is also the CEO of Marsh, McLennan Asia, a professional services firm in the areas of risk, strategy, and people. David, good morning.
Thank you, Ferdi. Thanks for having me.
You wear a lot of hats. You are a CEO. You are a biohacker. You are a father, and ultimately also a husband. That's a lot of things on one's plate. I mean, I know you shuffle between the Philippines, Singapore, New York, and everything else in between. Now, what I wanted to know is, also, by the way, I forgot, you're also a DJ.
That is true. That is true.
How did you get this new passion into your schedule and your lifestyle?
Well, look, I think, thanks, Ferdi, for having me. I mean, I have always been a person that loves balance. Being able to incorporate the things that I love to do, work, life, family, passions, and it's important for me to have that. And my ability to weave all that together comes down to how I feel, my health, the way I look at life, the way I live life. And so I wanted to sort of explore this issue of biohacking and how you can make little tweaks that can deliver big returns, less burnout, more balance, really a life improve. And that's what led me to establish Longevity Labs.
It sounds like you did the CEO way of like strategizing for biohacking, but can you explain to a layperson like myself what biohacking is all about? Of course, I've heard about it, but
yes,
I want to hear it from you.
Sure. So biohacking, really, it's kind of an intimidating word, but it's really a fancy word for figuring out what makes you feel best.
Okay.
And then trying to upgrade your life every day by these little hacks. And so it's really about self-experimentation, and that's really that's what happened to me. You've always known me as somebody that has been super fit.
Yes.
But I wasn't feeling good inside. I looked good on the outside, but internally I wasn't feeling well. I was always getting sick. I was always getting these debilitating migraines. And so I decided to take it upon myself to do these research around biohacking and self-experimentation. And that's what led me to where I am today in terms of all these different modalities and protocols that I've put together to make me feel like my life is improved.
Right. There's a lot of biohacking centers around the world, and it's all of the rage, actually.
Yes.
I was just in Indonesia and in Bali. You got a biohacking center, basically in every major area that's got to do with either tourists or residents, right?
Yes.
But did you go to a facility or a center for biohacking, or, as you said, self-experimentation a while ago? Did you? How did you do it?
So self-experimentation, I did a lot of research, and a lot of that research led me to a lot of these different biohacking centers around the world. And as I experimented some of the protocols that they had, I said, this is something that will really help me in terms of fix this. Well, the real issue that I was having was severe inflammation in my body.
Okay.
Inflammation from our lifestyle, inflammation from stress, inflammation from the pollution, just the lives that we lead. And figuring out how to get rid of inflammation in your body means you improve your cellular health.
Yes, inflammation in the body is actually, people don't really pay attention to inflammation. They're like, okay, whatever, I feel bloated, and then the next day, let's move forward, right?
Yeah.
But does it really affect us?
Totally. And
in what sense?
Well, basically, it impairs your cells to thrive. When you have inflammation in your body, your cellular health is compromised. And we all know our bodies are made out of 37 trillion cells. And the older we get,
I didn't know that.
Yes.
I just found out
yes.
right now.
And the older we get,
37 million.
37 trillion. And the older we get, our cells die off.
Oh, yes.
And they die off because of the way we live our life, the pollution, the food that we're eating. And so I found a way to basically regenerate my cells through a lot of these protocols that I'm going to be bringing here as part of Longevity Labs.
Okay, there's that thing called a superhuman.
Yes.
And I'm sure you're dipping into that philosophy. What is it all about? What's the superhuman theory?
Okay, so the superhuman protocol, I'll break it down quite simply for everybody.
Yeah.
Three main words: magnetism, oxygen, and light. Very simple terms. And if you think back to when we were cavemen and cave women, we were always grounding. We were always barefoot because our feet were touching the earth. We were grounding. The air that we were breathing was unpolluted, and the light that we were receiving from the sun was not harmful. Fast forward to where we are now, we're never barefoot, not unless we're in the beach. The air that we're breathing is very polluted, and the light that we get from the sun is harmful, a lot of UV light. So we need to go back to that foundation, but we need to do it in a safer and more effective and efficient manner. And so the superhuman protocol gives you the foundations, but with modern day technology. So magnetism, you lie on a pulse electromagnetic mat for 12 minutes. That separates the cells in your body. Once your cells have been separated, it's now ready to receive oxygen. So then I jump onto my exercise with oxygen therapy, and I'm breathing in 93% pure oxygen, mimicking clean air. And that basically docks onto my cells because my cells have now been separated from the magnetism. And now I'm ready to receive light. And the red light or near infrared light basically supercharges my cells. So before you know it, your cells are completely recharged by doing this protocol, which I try to do at least 3 times to 4 times a week. And then you find that you're able to regenerate your cells. So that's why over the last 2.5 years, I've never had a migraine. I've never been sick. I've never had a cold. Energy levels restored. I just feel amazing. Like mental clarity has come back to me.
This is hitting me hard.
Yes.
Because do you mind if I ask how young you are?
I'm 57.
57 years young. So between, for example, our prime normally is in our 30s and our 40s. I mean, you and I,
yes,
we've done it all. But when did you start feeling lethargic? When did you start feeling that your body is no longer responding to your mental abilities of like, okay, I can do this. I'm going to DJ till 4 a.m. and then I get back on a board meeting at 8 a.m.
Yeah, so I started to feel, probably in my 40s, I just started to feel like I wasn't optimal anymore. And you kind of you accept the fact that you're getting older. And so we should just accept the fact that we're just going to feel this way.
I struggle with that. I don't want to accept the fact that I'm getting older. I still claim on this show that I'm 35 years old.
But in essence, you can actually feel optimal at any age if you basically think about detoxifying your body.
Right.
And that's really what the superhuman protocol does. It enhances your cellular function so that you're able to detoxify and you're able to fight out any disease, any compromisation in your body. And that's really at the core of what we want to basically bring at Longevity Labs.
Yes, between 2.5 and 3 years that you've been doing this biohacking, have family members or friends join you on this journey?
Yes. So, of course, family members, Amanda's in this journey with me, my lovely wife.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get my young kids into it.
Yes, you've got 4 children.
They're still a little too young to do the biohacking because they're still optimal. But my eldest, who plays a lot of football, is now starting to experiment with, how do I...
turn into a giant, basically.
An amazing football player.
I'm so jealous of how tall he is.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so he's starting. How young is too young, or how old is?
I would say like 18 would be optimal. And actually, you can biohack at any age. People say, oh, you should only biohack when you're old. Absolutely not. You should biohack as young as possible. I wish I knew all these things in my 20s.
Right.
Because then I would be unstoppable. Everything that I did, every job or every passion that I wanted to sort of spend my energy in, I would have been able to do that with maximum value.
Yeah, you as a CEO travel quite a bit, and your travel is just not, regional. You go to New York frequently.
Yes.
My question is, since you started this biohacking philosophy in your life, how has that helped you mentally and physically?
So I think, number one, mentally, I'm showing up much more better at work, like able to strategize, how do I lead my company going forward, how do I lead my employees? And so I feel like from a mental acuity perspective, I'm so much sharper.
Do you try to influence them in this bio?
Oh my God, it's funny, like my office mates joke so much because I instituted every quarter that we would all get together at 6:30 in the morning, and I would prepare 6 cold plunges.
Oh my
and we would all meet upstairs at this restaurant. I would DJ for them, play some music, and people were I would introduce them into the cold plunge. And now all of a sudden, I have a big following of people at work that are just doing cold plunges, saunas, getting into the biohacking space. And so that's what I want to do here. I want to bring a social element to biohacking so that people can do it together. Like, I can take you to the sauna, we can hang out, we can talk about business work, then we can jump into the cold plunge together and just feel amazing after.
I think you just got nominated for Best CEO.
Yes, or most annoying CEO in terms of...
That's a great way of leadership, because it's outside the box.
Yeah.
It's still for their benefit. Ergo, you actually induce productivity.
And look, for me, that's the main thing, right? I want to be able to allow my employees to feel their best.
Yes, let's go talk about that.
Yes.
Let's go talk about that a little bit more. But right now, we're going to take a short break. Trade Talks will be right back. Welcome back to Trade Talks, The High Life. We continue our conversation with David Jacob. He is the founder of Longevity Labs and Thermalife, and of course, the CEO of Marsh McLennan Asia. I'm sure I'm butchering the last name. McLennan.
McLennan, all good.
McLennan. I keep asking. I keep missing. Anyway, so we were just, before the break, we were just talking about a cool CEO like yourself, 6:30 a.m., let's take cold plunges while I DJ for you. How has the productivity gone up since you started this program with your...
Yeah, so I started doing it with my leadership team, and all of them have embraced this idea of healthy living, because I keep explaining to them, I want you to show up your best for work. And when you're able to take care of yourself, like internally, how you feel, the way you sort of handle yourself for either from diet or sleep, then you show up for work better. And so I'm trying to introduce these biohacking modalities to them slowly so that they can embrace it, and then hopefully they in turn can educate their colleagues, the people that work for them. And then before you know it, this becomes sort of widespread within the organization that we're a company that cares. We provide these benefits to our employees for them to show up better at work.
I know Longevity Labs, I know, is a business.
Yes.
But it seems like through the course of our conversation, you're trying to build not only a lifestyle, but a community.
Yes, 100%.
And how are you building those blocks to make sure that the people that listen to you or even watch your posts or the like come into this community?
Yeah, so first and foremost, I'm sharing my experience. I'm sharing how I improved my life through the use of these biohacking technologies, which include the Superhuman Protocol as well as contrast therapy, the sauna, and the cold plunges. And so the more people that experience that, then they're drawn, okay, wow, I can't believe I feel this good. then I want them to basically bring more people in and more people, and it becomes a force multiplier. And before you know it, I said, why don't I create a space so that we can all come together and do it together? Like-minded people who value wellness, who really think about their life and wanting to show up better at work and show up better for their families. So I want to create a third space. You have your work, you have your home. I want to create a third space, which is Longevity Labs, which is really focused around self-love. How do I take care of myself? And that's what the space is all about. We'll have a social contrast therapy space, large community sauna, 4 beautiful cold plunges, and then all the biohacking spaces and modalities.
Is this supervised by a medical practitioner or a doctor?
We'll have medical consultants, and then eventually we'll have medical doctors on board. But for the time being, this is based on me, my experience, a lot of people that have been trained like me in terms of the use of these machines.
Correct.
Because we're not drawing blood, we don't have any IVs there. This is purely technology that we're going to basically be delivering to individuals.
If you have an ailment, like a cold or a cough or the flu basically, is biohacking a good idea?
Yes, it is. Except I would say, probably if you have a cold...
we're not medical practitioners. But
if you have a cold or flu, then you definitely don't want to jump in the cold plunge. It's going to make it worse. But some of our machines, like jumping into a red light bed, which we will have, will help improve the cellular functions. What happens when you're sick, your immunity is compromised.
Yes.
So how do we get that inflammation? How do we get that immunity to come back? And you can do that through lying on a red light bed or lying in a pulse electromagnetic mat or doing ozone therapy, which basically helps detoxify the body.
Where's your facility going to be at?
So we're going to be in the MK Tan Center, which is on 30th Street, right next to High Street in BGC.
In BGC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are there similar facilities that you visited abroad or around the region?
Yes. So, of course, Singapore is now obviously, blowing up in this space. Of course, New York and London. I've visited all the facilities. And the one thing that makes us unique, because either a facility is just purely social contrast therapy, sauna, cold plunge, or they're going to be exclusively biohacking. But what we've done is we've brought it all together. So you've got social contrast therapy and the biohacking together in one space. And that's never been done before.
This is funny because you mentioned cities that are obviously economically sound and, high stress cities. Is this the reason why these things are popping up? Because people can't deal with the work stress, the daily grind? Is that
Absolutely. I think people have now saying there are ways for us to take control of our lives rather than, oh, I'm going to get sick and then I have to go to a doctor. No. How do you prevent yourself from getting sick so you don't have to see a doctor, you don't have to take medication? And that's why these places are starting to be more popular around the world, because we are in a health revolution. We're all going to live longer. We're all going to live probably till we're 100. But the quality of your life, what's going to happen in those later years? Are you going to be able to function, or are you going to get dementia? Are you going to get Alzheimer's? So this is now where we're going to take control. And we're going to maintain our bodies every day to be able to live this health span to match our lifespan.
Will this facility of yours be unique in the Philippines?
Unique. It'll be the first one of its kind.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing. And what's the age limit for people to...
So we're saying 18 and above.
Yes.
18 and above.
And the above will be up to what
all the way. I mean, 85. I'm getting my mom to join, who's 85, because I think this will benefit.
Your mom is not human, okay? Your mom at her age still gets spin up in the air when she dances.
Yes, but I mean, this will help prolong her life as well.
Really? What about, we mentioned a while ago, diets and the like. Amanda, your wife, Amanda Griffin Jacob, has always been, in my books, a vegan.
Yep.
You were not a practicing vegan until a few years back.
Yes.
You turned vegetarian.
Yes.
And I know you like your steaks.
And I used to. I definitely used to like my steak. Yeah.
Yes. Has this helped out with the biohacking?
For sure. I think it's just added that foundation for me to have this healthy diet. And then on top of that, I have all of these biohacking protocols that basically match that kind of lifestyle. Now, you don't have to be vegetarian. I mean, you can still be a carnivore just as long as you've got a balanced diet at the end of the day. So I'm not prescribing you need to be a vegetarian to live healthily. People will choose what they want.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Last few questions for you, David. Worst investment.
Worst investment. Wow, that's a tough one. Worst investment, I would probably say a bad suit.
Yes, I completely
Yes.
agree.
Yeah.
Best investment.
Everything that I'm doing here with Longevity Labs.
Wow.
Everything.
Okay, and your favorite mistake?
Favorite mistake? Probably, I wouldn't say it's a mistake, but some people might say it's a mistake, but this whole thing with music and DJing, of course it takes you into a different lifestyle, but it enriches me in terms of my passion and my beliefs.
I think that's your lifestyle hack, DJing, and
Yes.
that's your happy pill.
Yes,
All right?
I mean that's what keeps me going.
Thank you so much, David, for giving us insights on biohacking, and your statements have really hit hard.
Thank you very much, Ferdi. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And that is it for today's show. I'm Ferdi Salvador. Catch the Bilyonaryo News channel on Free TV Channel 31 and on cable via Cignal Channel 24. Thanks for watching the Bilyonaryo News channel. Always on top.